now proudly presented on SNME. That's Sunday night's main event. Patreon and free feed.
We just people from the north side. Once the Timmy's at the shore fine. Winter ready on the four ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north side. Once the Timmy's at the shore fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are live. Destiny World Wrestling back in Oshawa. You smell Oshawa. Smell it bad. This gorgeous son of a bitch sitting next to me is one and only, the living legend, the young lion himself, Bryce Hansen. Bryce, welcome to Straight Talk Wrestling.
Thank you so much for having me, man. Honestly, appreciate it.
Oh, dude, it's an honor for me. So I actually saw you the first time was at Demand Lucha. You were coming through. You were doing your stuff there. I was impressed. I'm not going to say which mask character you are. People can figure that out on their own. But you do have an alter gimmick. You have alter egos that float around.
Multiple alter egos.
So would you say like you're like a split of pro wrestling? Do you have 25 personalities?
Kind of. It's kind of like the three faces of Foley in a way.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So if there's ever like, if anybody in Ontario ever did like a crazy ultimate Royal Rumble style match, you could potentially have 3 spots in said match.
Yeah, it's like me and El Reverso, Dan Pisano, Daniel Wen, us. It would just be us eliminating each other the entire time. It would be awesome.
And one of you would be pulling the Stone Cold Steve Austin where you're like, what's happening? So talk to me about wrestling and why you got into this crazy, mixed up, wonderful, psychotically violent world that we are in.
Well, actually, I worked at the local gym that my wrestling school had opened in. So it kind of just fell right into my lap. Like the entire world of pro wrestling, I had no idea what it was. I never watched wrestling as a kid. I rarely backyard wrestled. The trampoline was strictly for hops, no slams at all compared to other kids. But yeah, so I was working at the local gym, and the owner came to me and asked, like, hey, we need some local guys just to try to pop it or whatever. And so I went. I met my trainer, Tyson Dukes. Fell in love because he's like a stout guy. He's like my height and, short, jacked. And I'm like, I can relate to this guy heavily.
And he's also world traveled.
Traveled.
Tyson Dukes does have a career. Does have a very. He is a. What do they call him? A professionally traveled.
A journeyman.
A journeyman. Yes, Tyson Dukes is 100% a journeyman. I love that. That's one of the things about his story. I love. There are a couple things I'll leave off the table, personal reasons, what have you. But Tyson Dukes, as a performer, journeyman, 100%. Go on. Anyways, continue.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I was training with him. Started in the March of 2021, and then I debuted as Bryce Hansen in September of that year. So I had I did not have a long tenure of training before getting out there, which Tyson produced the match or whatever that my first match was, and so it all went off without any hiccups, and then I was open to the world of professional wrestling. And before the Stallion Kid gimmick, Bryce Hansen has wrestled at Demand Lucha.
What was there a gimmick before Stallion Kid?
Nope, it was just me.
It was just you.
Little pre-show. First, Lucha de los Muertos. I can't remember. Yeah, in 2021. So that would have been like their first show back. It was at the Forge. It wasn't at the Parkdale Hall, so it was in a much smaller venue, and it was legendary.
Parkdale Hall, though, those crowds are fucking electric. Oh. And some of the shit you pull off, some of the shit though, like your gimmick, your character seems to be evolved a lot in those scramble matches. And the shit that those scramble matches can produce, like some of the movesets, when you guys are playing these matches, are you like, how the fuck are we going to pull this off? But then it just happens.
Yeah, it's literally like a crazy domino effect where you're like, if you remember this, then you're all set. And if this guy remembers this, then you're all set. It's literally just like a fireworks show. That's what these matches are. Scrambles are fireworks shows. But they do come out really cool. They do come out insanely cool.
They do. So I got to talk about the last Destiny show in Toronto. You were, I guess, adorned, if you will, with a crown of George the ICEMAN. The ICEMAN has now literally labeled Bryce Hansen, the young lion, as the next big thing. And when you're getting an endorsement from an Ontario pro wrestling legend like George the ICEMAN, but now a TNA affiliate, also concierge to Ash My Elegance, who will be at Summer Heat. So you're pretty much managed and mentored by one of the best mouthpieces this side of Paul Heyman. How do you soak that in?
I mean, again, another opportunity that has just fallen in my lap. And Iceman I'm so incredibly grateful that he is willing to put this work in with me and to take me through the ranks and try to help my career the way he is. And, now that he's on TV as well, that's another badge of honor I get, that I have a TV personality managing me, and you know, it is a lot of weight on my shoulders, but I think I'm gonna coast right through it and be just fine almost.
I think these shoulders can handle quite a bit. I think these shoulders.
Likewise.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's hard being me, Bryce. I'll be honest with you. It's just a lot of. This is not premeditated, man. I just wake up, and I'm stellar.
Really?
No, not at all. My wife makes me look incredibly good all the time. My barber does my hair, and thank God that I have beautiful children. Because of my beautiful wife, or else I would just be that weird guy that just hangs around wrestling shows. So kudos to Mrs. Host. She's the best. She's the love of my life. She is. She's amazing. She makes me look wonderful. But, I got to say that the more I see you, the more I am impressed by how, we're talking 3 years in, or actually 2 years in, 2 and a bit years in now since you got your green light, and you have taken to this business like no one I myself have ever seen. I'm sure there are people out there that have had the same journey as you thus far. But you, I believe in Jax Williams. I look at you two, and you two are like the future of Ontario indie wrestling in like the best ways possible. When you're already getting these early comparisons to like some of the greats that have come through Ontario and some of the greats that exist here now, like I could see you going toe-to-toe with the Gabriel Fuerza. I could see you taking Von Vertigo to the limit. I could see you and Mark Wheeler having a barn burner. These are household names. I could even see you and Alexi Nicole tearing it down, because that girl is no joke. That girl will kill you and smile while doing it. But when you're in the company of these Ontario indie wrestling namesakes now, the stable that is Ontario, plus you mentioned Tyson Dukes and everyone that came before them, you're in a very high echelon of company. I'm not trying to add any more pressure than you already know is there, but I feel like you thrive on pressure. So when I mention you with those names and you feel the pressure, do you just get more excited because I've mentioned you in these names?
Yeah, I do get more excited when you like bring up the names and like the comparisons me and Jax especially have gotten so far. I can't remember who it was, or it's been multiple people like comparing us to be the next EY and Danger Boy from the kinds of matches that we've been having at a GCW or something. You know, I'm quite excited to see where our careers go, but I don't think that we should be confined to Ontario by any means. Well.
I think you are. I think you are definitely going to be journeyman when it's all said and done. And having that connection with Iceman to TNA, and that Destiny kind of has that springboard to TNA, the lineage, the history there. Our champion is a TNA roster member in Trent Seven, and so many roster members before him have held that title. Steve Macklin, again, member of a fantastic TNA roster. Josh Alexander, a staple, the longest reigning TNA wrestling heavyweight champion ever. This is a huge opportunity, and I could see your name in lights. And I got to say, looking at that roster, how fucking cool would it be to stare down the ring at a Josh Alexander on a TNA pay-per-view?
It would be a dream, honestly. Josh is somebody I admire so much. Like, I did a seminar back in February, I want to say, and right there, like, he just has such a killer mind for wrestling, and he's such an impressive athlete. And I really want him to gas me out and make me look like shit in the ring. And I want to get better, and I want to wrestle Josh 1,000%.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Now, looking at things the way they are, and Demand Lucha and stuff like that, and a lot of times we see these mask versus hairstyle matches, or where a character can become unmasked. Stallion Kid would become unmasked. Would you embrace that? Would Bryce Hansen come out, or would we see another personality become born, like a phoenix rising out of the unmasking of Stallion Kid?
I guess we'd really just have to see, maybe if Stallion Kid gets out of the scramble gimmick a little bit, maybe if Stallion Kid starts to do a little feud or whatever, I can definitely see Stallion Kid becoming Bryce Hansen, or Stallion Kid remaining on top there. I
could see that. I could see you and Lucha Freddy, or Fred I, having some fucking twisted matches. Absolutely twisted matches. Hi, Ellie.
We have Dream Girl Ellie on.
She was just burning. She was burning a hole, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. Look at Dream Girl. Dream Girl. She was on Straight Talk Wrestling, guys. Look at that. I can do that too. I can't. See that? That's not fair.
The interview actually bearable now, Bryce.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh no.
You're welcome.
We can turn the camera off.
What?
We can turn the camera off.
No.
No, how about you sit in the seat, Ellie?
I already did.
All right.
All we did was crack dad jokes. Hey, I got a new one for you. When does a joke become a dad joke? What do you guys think?
Go ahead, tell me.
When it becomes apparent.
This is the shoot. This is the shoot interview 20 years from now that gets us canceled.
Dad joke?
Yeah, dad joke.
Can dad jokes get you canceled? I don't think that's possible.
As long as they're over age, we're good.
Yeah.
Oh.
This one.
I'm American. I don't have to make a pedophile joke.
She does. She does. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, they elected a pedophile as their president once.
You been to Florida?
Oh, damn.
Tax break.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. He did stuff to his maid. Anyways, back on track. Back on. But you know what? I look at your lineage and where you're going and all the moves, the decisions that you're making. And I feel like support is key. I feel like the right conversations. You mentioned Mike Clark and the fair shows and all the stuff he's doing with CCW. That's always a lot of fun. You mentioned Demand Lucha, and I know they have great lineage there, great people there, the advice you take. And I always see you in the back room soaking up as much knowledge. Like you were here today in the Games Balski, seminar. When you get an opportunity to, not even in these seminars where you do pay, but you pay to learn and gain the experience. But when there's like an Alex Shelley backstage, or when there's somebody backstage where you could soak up any kind of knowledge, how exciting is that for you to just keep getting better?
It's honestly super exciting. It's super humbling, I think is the word as well. Like it really just grounds you, because it's like you can get really caught up in like thinking that you're, oh my God, you're this hot young indie guy or whatever. But it's like, I'm just some 20-year-old kid that doesn't really know. Can I swear?
Absolutely.
I don't really know fuck all about wrestling. So getting the opportunity to share a locker room with, whether it's Josh Alexander, Alex Shelley, even like a Fuerza or like a Lindsay Dorado, and it's an incredible opportunity just to pick their brain and just say, hey, this is my situation. Like if you were me right now, what would you do? And that sort of thing. That's the generalized question that I ask everyone. It's just, what more can I be doing, and what would you do right now if you were this younger guy?
I'm not a journeyman by any stretch, but I have been a wrestling fan my entire life, and I've been in this business passionately for the 8 years now since I've started this podcast. What I will say is you're doing everything right that I can see. Keep grinding, keep doing your thing, because your name will be in lights. It's not a when is it going to happen? It's going to happen. It is going to happen. Well, when is it going to happen? It's going to happen. That's what we have to go with. We have to have that. We have to put it out in the universe, because I could see Bryce Hansen elevating himself to the best parts. And when you got a mind like George the Iceman whispering in your ear, I mean, he brings out the negative in a lot of people. He makes people do bad things, but in the best way possible. So, I mean, I did see more of an aggression side of you when he debuted you here as a young lion. It wasn't the, hey, I'm happy to be here. It was, I'm going to run through everyone here.
Pressure makes diamonds, baby. Can't say anything other than that.
I like that. With the Tommy Bahama shirt, the Gucci bag. Like, this is insane. I feel right now so underdressed in this conversation.
It's all the work.
It's all the work. It's all the work. Everything here was purchased at your local Value Village.
None of these are expensive.
None of
these clothes are actually expensive.
Temu? It's all Temu.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm not going to get into it. It's stupid. But, like, fuck. Shoes are $40, man. These just pants were a gift card.
Nice.
Shirt, Winners. I remember me and this guy right here, big Winners fans. Winners has it all.
Winners does have it all.
Mm-hmm.
And they have it for the best low everyday prices.
I know. $30 for this Tommy Bahama. Are you fucking kidding me?
$9.99 on clearance.
Brother.
Yeah, and it's linen and it's breathable. Very nice, right?
It's nice. Mine's pretty thick.
Yeah. No, but it's still nice.
Yeah.
It's still nice. See, the shirt underneath, Hanes, 3-pack, $6. I tell you.
Working the workers.
We're
over
living
here.
the dream. We're working the gimmick to the best extent. My one final question before I let you go is, we talked about so much stuff. We talked about TNA. We talked about that being probably an eventual great move for you. But, I mean, if any opportunities ever came up, I mean, the world is your oyster at this point. You just keep getting better, soaking up the knowledge, and you can go wherever your trajectory takes. But where would you like to end up? Where would Bryce Hansen like to end up to give Bryce Hansen the best chance to shine?
I really think I would fit in well with Pro Wrestling Noah.
Okay.
Pro Wrestling Noah or a New Japan. I think I work better in a stronger style. I mean, having the opportunity at TNA and literally any company that would be willing to take me in as this little idiot wrestler, that would be fantastic. But I think I would grow the best as a student of the game and just soak up even more knowledge from these amazing athletes in a Japanese setting.
Yeah, I think you would thrive in the dojo. You would thrive in the dojo. The New Japan dojo especially. They make people. Have you been to it?
Yeah, I did Kushita's seminar last year, and so I flew myself to Los Angeles for the seminar, and fuck, like,
Life-changing, right?
it's phenomenal. I'm getting ramped up just thinking about it because it's like you're doing so many fucking push-ups and burpees. It's like fuck.
I hate burpees. I used to play rugby, and I did burpees all the time, and burpees were death to me. I hated burpees. Hated them.
Yeah. Can't hurt me.
No, burpees don't hurt. Wow. All right. Well, why we discuss what hurts more, and probably burpees for myself, me and the handsome one himself, Bryce Hansen. Go ahead, flex the arm one more time. Do it. Go ahead, look at that. It's amazing. Thank you for coming to Straight Talk Wrestling. I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to your journey continuing, my man.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Peace, love, and wrestling, guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on that notification bell so you get notified each time we post a video. Alternatively, you can check us out on all podcast platforms and hosted on Podbean. We are also available on the SNME network. That's the Sunday Nights Main Event Patreon. Please feel free to check us out there as well. And don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at _Straight Talk on Twitter, at Straight Talk Wrestling on Instagram, Straight Talk Wrestling on Facebook, Straight Talk Wrestling on TikTok, and of course, you can check out all our merch at ProWrestlingTees.com.
I don't need a nigga cosign. Without the liquor, you become a victim. You ain't never got a pole mine. I ain't messing with this generation. Fuck your gender, I ain't got